For most of us, when we think of reindeer, we think of an iconic symbol of Christmas. We know there's Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen, and Rudolph, of course. However, when we think of caribou, which happens to be the same species, we picture the same animals in unforgiving environments, blanketed in snow, that have to contend with wolves and other predators. These robust animals have evolved to thrive in these tundras and certainly aren't someone's domesticated pet. That's why the idea of flying reindeer pulling a high-flying sleigh makes for such whimsical holiday imagery. Yet reindeer dashing through the snow, pulling an open sleigh, just as they've been depicted with Santa Claus, is no child fantasy. While we might not associate them as a typical barnyard animal, reindeer are now thought to have been domesticated anywhere between 3,000 and 7,000 years ago, and have become essential in European and Asian hunter-herder societies of the Arctic and subarctic for their milk, fur, antlers, and sometimes their meat, in addition to enabling them to efficiently cross normally inaccessible environments. There is a lack of archaeological evidence that can pinpoint exactly when, where, and who domesticated reindeer. However, cave drawings and the discovery of apparatuses used for training the animals have given us our current estimations. Like dogs, there may have been more than one domestication event. In North America, the term caribou is typically applied to the wild populations of this ungulate in North America, while the term reindeer often refers to domesticated animals that have descended from Eurasian caribou. They are also the smaller reindeer often seen in Christmas movies and live Santa displays. Reindeer are sometimes erroneously said to be the only domesticated deer species in the world, despite the existence of tame fallow and Sitka deer. However, reindeer are more widely distributed, and unlike other deer, they are working animals that several cultures depend on. Another frequently repeated claim is that reindeer are only semi-domesticated. One of the main reasons people think this is because the domesticated reindeer's morphology so closely resembles their wild counterparts. Some reindeer populations are also known to interbreed with wild populations, and some scientists have even proposed that reindeer cannot be fully domesticated because of their diet, which consists of mosses and lichens that cannot be cultivated and fed to the deer as captives. Instead, the upkeep of reindeer in traditional societies involves allowing them to roam free in pastures. They were originally herded by nomads who would follow them on their annual migration and protect them from predators. From this, a mutualistic relationship evolved, after a small number of the animals were tamed for use as draft animals and decoys to trap others. Reindeer were domesticated in what is known as the prey pathway, where animals are initially hunted by humans and they eventually come to control their breeding through various management strategies. Today, reindeer herding has evolved into more commercial operations, and snowmobiles and even helicopters are used to move the animals across longer stretches of terrain. Many lay people and even scientists have largely come to understand domestication as producing a new species that is completely dependent on humans and differs from their wild counterparts dramatically. Yet some of the most popular domesticated animals reveal this to be incorrect. Even domesticated cats and possibly dogs have not changed significantly from their so-called wild counterparts. With that being said, there is still a notable physical change. Domesticated reindeer have a somewhat smaller stature, smaller bone elements, and shorter muzzle length. Like so many captive animals of different species, they come in different colorations and patterns. There was never a need for reindeer to undergo a change in their morphology, as their adaptations to their Arctic environments were already desirable. It has even been hypothesized that wild reindeer already had a trusting disposition, allowing humans to work with them extensively, further giving credence to the idea that domestication need not be a process that involves flipping an animal's nature a complete 180. It is often the case that a species is chosen by humans because they already possess the qualities that are desired, and captive breeding just continues to produce more animals and bring out those traits. As some researchers studying reindeer domestication have noted, domestication is more than just bodily change. It can involve the mutual interactions between humans and animals, learning how to further their efficacy of their symbiosis animals through training, conditioning, and understanding. Through such means, animals can become selectively bred to further fulfill their desired role. The fact that we view a species that can be harnessed, ridden, made to pull heavy loads, and reproduce prolifically under the control of humans shows how poorly defined and understood the concept of domestication is. Perhaps it is the case that we define domesticates by our familiarity with the species instead of some real scientific standard. Furthermore, domestication does not have to have the intended goal of changing a species, other than allowing them to reproduce well in captivity or in the presence of people. Some animals meet the needs of humans successfully just the way they are.